Michael Joe Silva isn't just making videos that generates tens of millions of views. He's rewriting the rules of how a law firm can show up in the world. In this episode, we break down how he's turned cinematic storytelling, recurring characters, and unapologetic creativity into a legal brand that millions recognize instantly. From Thunderclap to Legal Juice, Michael built a universe that entertains first and then sells trust second, and it's completely changed the way personal injury marketing happens. But none of it scales without the operational backbone behind the curtain. That's where CEO Tanner Combs steps in. We dig into how Tanner and Michael built a law firm where production quality, case outcomes, and business discipline feed each other instead of competing with each other. Together, they reveal what it takes to stay memorable in a very saturated PI market and how creativity and execution can coexist when leaders commit to both. Tanner, Michael, thank you so much for hopping on today.
Thank you for having us. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
You know, there's so much to chat about with your strategy, but I want first for people to see what it is that you guys produce. And I'm sure the vast majority of people watching this have already seen your stuff, but for those that haven't, let's play a clip.
Great job, guys.
You came. The war for my soul has begun. Choose mine now.
I'm gonna make a protein shake.
It's showtime, suckers!
I thought it was just a phase.
You ready to exercise your rights?
This is a personal injury law firm. It's not a haunted house, man.
Correction. We're both now.
Thunderclap, think about your fans.
But the needle's just so big, sister.
And so is your legacy.
Michael, Mr. Thunderclap. That's what brings you into Silva Injury Law today.
Well, brother, I was at the gym working on these 19-inch pythons when all of a sudden tragedy struck.
Pre-existing condition and delayed denial.
Before we continue, a quick note and the only break you'll hear in today's episode. Most attorneys know they should be reaching Hispanic clients, but very few do it well. That's where we come in. At Abogados Now, we build authentic Spanish language campaigns that actually get you more cases and grow your practice. So if you're looking for a new way to get more clients, book a call with our team today at abogadosnow.com. Now, let's get back to the episode.
That's awesome. Michael, Tanner, thanks again for coming on. Let's talk about how this even happened. This is such a bold marketing move. It's probably the boldest marketing move I've seen in digital. Tell us about how you guys got to that point, from building this practice to really tripling down in this kind of marketing angle.
Well, that's perfect. For years, we invested zero in branding. I just didn't believe in branding. Everything we were doing was direct marketing, whether it was Google ads or organic SEO. We were doing what everybody else was doing. And then in 2023, I talked to Tanner and Cassidy about creating a fun parody video. We weren't even going to have a call to action. There's no call to action. It was just going to be a fun parody of The Office, because we all love The Office. It was going to be a Halloween special, and it was going to be a one-timer. And we did it, we shot it, we released it, and blown away by the response of folks. They absolutely loved it. I went from a YouTube channel that had 1 subscriber, and it was me, to just all of a sudden, thousands of people were starting to subscribe. We decided, hey, let's keep this going. Let's go ahead and do a Thanksgiving one. So, of course, we had to first find our main star, which was an actual live turkey that we brought into the office. Took a dump on absolutely everything, but it was worth it. And it just kept going that way. The same thing. We had an amazing response to that. And then we did the Christmas episode. Again, the same thing happened. And that's how it kind of evolved. It wasn't a strategy that we were going to employ full time. It just bloomed into this beautiful thing that people loved. We were making people smile and happy. people were trying to engage with us. So many people were showing the videos to didn't need a personal injury lawyer. So how would they reach out to us? Say, I want to go work there, right? Any way that they can engage with us, they'd reach out. And so it was just, that's how it started. And then that's how it's evolved.
Got it. And then so like what have been the business outcomes here? Because there's a lot of investment here. It breaks a lot of rules of direct response marketing of like call now, helping the injured. Like there's no reference to PI. There's no reference to accidents. That's what I feel like it's just a complete departure. How has it affected your business? What was it before and after?
See, that's the interesting thing because the way it's evolved to where we do legal parodies. So if you watch it, I mean, we actually talk about, if you follow the Thunderclap series, the very first episode follows an intake consultation. The second one is medical treatment during a personal injury case. We're going to be filming the third part where he gets a pre-litigation settlement offer. It doesn't go well. It can't go well, right? This has to go into litigation. So there's an educational aspect to it too.
Sure.
The same thing that we do with Harry Litigator. But in terms of how you track success with branding, obviously this is top of funnel, right? You got the bottom of the funnel, which is what most injury lawyers, owners, law firm owners focus on, which is the direct, trying to get in front of the eyeballs of the people actively looking for us. And that's what I did for many years. And there was slow growth with that. There isn't this compounding effect of being able to be a known brand, right? So the started to shift more of top of funnel type of thing. So in terms of what we're seeing for engagement is obviously the views, subscribers, followers, and people just actively engaging with the brand. We actually decided to kind of start having our billboards match our legal parody. So now there's no more just, our normal faces, call us, we're the heavy hitters. There's no more of that, right? It's Thunderclap on a billboard or a Lita Grinch on a billboard. So in terms of what is the point of branding, you got to really think about that and put that into its right perspective. Get attention. And you're getting attention from everybody. Folks that don't necessarily need you now, but might need you down the road. Folks that may never need you, but have family members or friends that may. So it's building that type of perspective into this whole process when you're measuring KPIs. Because if you're going to say, well, how many people called us from the Thunderclap commercial today? You probably should really learn about what it is in terms of marketing when it comes to top of funnel, mid funnel, and lower funnel. But those are the kinds of things that we're seeing. And it's as far as attention, people know who we are. We can go to a legal convention. Oh, you guys are the ones that do those funny parodies. And even after we did the Halloween one, I went trick-or-treating with my family and just people in the community approaching us about this video. So as far as getting attention for the law firm, it has blown up in such a way that we would have never imagined.
It's interesting. So you're talking about top of funnel. Like that is something so rare to talk about. We work largely with personal injury attorneys across the country. They're only focused at the bottom of the funnel. As you mentioned, it's slow to grow. It's so competitive. And there's a degree of patience required at the top of funnel. And you just bank on it showing up the bottom funnel months, years down the road. Then this for both of you, like where did you make that bet at top of funnel? Because it is counterintuitive, especially to growing or brand new law firms. Like they need to invest in quick cash flow outcomes. They can't bet on time. Like walk us through that.
I would say, we definitely don't just have one strategy, right? We have multiple strategies and I think they all feed into each other, but I would say, we're in it for the long game, right? Like we understand that, look, it may take some time for us to really kind of see the full on benefit from it. But with that being said, one of the things that we like to do too is, look, we like to put joy out in the world. So depending on how you're actually measuring that ROI, right? It's not always in dollars and cents, it's in other ways. And, Michael mentioned we get people commenting like, you bring joy to my baby, and they'll take a picture and send it to us, right? And like the baby's like watching the video on the TV. But of course, speaking purely, business dollars and cents, like we understand it's a long-term game. I think Michael has always been creative and pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries. And a lot of times I'm just kind of along for the ride and enjoying it and learning from him as I go. But we're seeing the ROI on that as well. Since the law firm started, I mean, every year we've just grown exponentially, and that's not going to stop. We don't see that stopping. We're going to keep pushing the limits, keep pushing the boundaries, and do it in our way, a creative way that's fun. So yeah.
I'm curious with the characters. In fact, why don't we pull up one other video, JC? So we can talk about characters and trust building here, because there's some pretty awesome stuff going on here.
That's it! I'm suing Christmas!
So, Parody on the Grinch, like what is like the ethos and the importance of like character building and all this? Because so much of the work that you guys do focuses around this like central character that is like kind of batshit crazy, and it's like it attracts so much attention, and it's such a magnet to the scripting and to the audience. Like, what's so important about having these like centerpiece characters?
You know what's very interesting is the fact that there is me in all the characters I portray. Every single one. I was a theater major before I went to law school. And if with any convincing performance from an actor, there's got to be them in the character. And for me, I share this with my team. There's only Michael Joe. There's Michael Joe in front of his family, at church, with his friends, in front of a jury, talking to you today. I don't know any other way. And I think that one of the things that through our characters and what we're doing is Tanner and I and Cassidy decided we were going to be unapologetically ourselves. This is how we accomplish that. We're ourselves. We're not. I think that's one of the things that is so sad about our industry is we are afraid to be ourselves, and we copy what we think others do that's successful. So it's funny because there's this in Utah, there's a law firm that has the motto, one call, that's all. Oh, clever. I went to Wisconsin to go watch a Green Bay Packer game. And sure enough, at the airport, there was a one call, that's all guy there too. All states the same strategies. And with Tanner and Cassidy and I, our philosophy, what we truly believe in is we don't do things just because that's how it's always been done by other people.
Right.
And for us, we have zero interest in competing in the same lane as everyone else. One, it's not as fun. And two, why? You get lost in a sea of sameness. So all these characters to kind of tie back up, I promise my ADD mind isn't taking me too far from your question, okay? But how it all ties together, all these characters we portray, because one of the things that when we're working with creative folks, production crews, a big part of it is we don't want to lose ourselves. We want ourselves to be in the characters we portray. And so what results? This is what I've noticed, Hugo. Rapport building with our audience. We build a level of trust that personal injury lawyers want so badly, and they try to do it by showing off how big their settlements are or their verdicts are instead of communicating with them on a real human level. And that's what we try to do with the character.
Yeah, and I love that because like you're using all these like famous IPs. You're using like The Grinch, Harry Potter, obviously The Office, like one of the most beloved shows maybe ever. And it's like it's really getting everyone's attention. And I'm curious if like there's been this trend of an audience that you didn't know you were going to capture that somehow became part of your clientele.
To start, I mean, kind of piggybacking a little bit on, being us, right? Like half of my vocabulary is office speak. Like I pretty much talk in the, office jokes all the time. And thankfully Michael gets it. But anyways, one of the audiences, like Michael, was contacted by, I guess there's what, like an 80s or 90s, like wrestlers group. And somebody called him at one point pretending to be this 80s wrestler and tried to get him to go to a convention, I think, if I'm remembering the story right. Yeah, we've definitely, connected with people that like we didn't even think about, and stories certainly hit people in a way that you can't always foresee, but it's been successful.
To piggyback on what Tanner said real quick, he's talking about a Macho Man cosplay group. This guy named Macho Verse. Every time I check in on him, he says, "Oh, it's Macho Man's law firm." But he has 220,000 followers. He does these cosplay things, and they've reached out to us because of the Thunderclap character being very similar to Macho Man Randy Savage. But there's even appeal to babies, to little kids that love watching our show, where there's one parent that reached out and said, the way me and my husband can have dinner at night is we just have to play Thunderclap for our kid. Right. And so, but Hugo, how brilliant is that? Right. Think about in terms of like, we're in this for the long haul. We're making fans with babies. Make it like, what's and they're going to be thinking about. I remember when I was talking with somebody about what we were doing, they said something that stuck with me. He said, if Dunder Mifflin were a real company, everybody'd want to buy paper from them. And I thought to myself, you think about Duck Dynasty. How many people even knew that they sold duck calls before they even heard it? But now they want to be involved with this so much. So here's the reality. Thunderclap is real. The law firm is real. So, and that's kind of what we're noticing is that connection. And it's just absolutely amazing. And all walks of life are attracted by it. Because we worried about that. Oh, we might only appeal to a niche audience. But quite honestly, it's been amazing. From babies to Macho Man impersonators and everything in between.
And so I'm curious, like, what do you say to the critics who say, well, I don't want to work with a law firm that prioritizes making commercials over talking and educating the community about legal? Like, what do you say to them? Because they're out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say you can't please everybody all the time, right? Number one. And number two, like Michael was talking about, we have to be unapologetically ourselves, and if that's going to offend somebody, I guess so be it, right? At least that's my take on it.
You're not the right person for them, right? Is that for whatever reason, if us being ourselves deters somebody from wanting to work with us, Hugo, at the end of the day, that's probably the best deterrent to get into a client-attorney relationship that's probably not going to work anyway. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can't please everyone should be the default position when you're trying to do something different online, especially online, because it's like you're gonna piss someone off if you're doing something bold, and if you're pissing someone off, you're probably doing the right thing. You're probably doing something interesting, and I'm curious, like, what is the kind of like production cycle of this? Because these aren't cheap videos to make. These are great cameras, lighting. You got scripting, clearly storyboard, fantastic editing. I mean, this is like television quality stuff. Walk us through what it takes to put, one of these episodes together.
Well, I'm going to say it all starts with teaming up with the right production team. We have FoxForce with us. I have Mr. Chris. He's been pointing his camera at my face this whole time. And his brilliant wife, Julin, they are our production team. They're what you see, the beautiful product that's put out is because of FoxForce. They're incredible. So the process, how it usually happens, just to kind of go really quickly through it, I'll come up with a crazy, wacky idea. So just pop in my brain. And sometimes I could be watching something on TV or whatever the case may be. And then an idea will just pop in my brain. I'll put a script very quickly together and I usually shoot it over to Tanner and Cassidy. They're the first ones to respond to see if I'm completely lost my mind or if it's something that we should investigate further. And then we'll start with that kind of process. And then what would happen is once I felt good about a particular script, then I would share it with Julian and Chris, and they are just cinematic masters on the directing side, on the camera side, all those different things. So then they take this idea that I have, and they're the best executors there are in terms of just what I had in my mind. What they actually end up producing ends up being a million times better. Thunderclap, from what it came out of my mind to what they did, couldn't imagine it being any better. So that's the big part, having that production. So you starts with an idea, and we've gotten pretty big now to the point where we decided to bring a creative team in-house. So we have the Miss Famous Shay Robbins, she's in a lot of movies. She's an excellent actress. She now works as part of Silva Studios, which is the production arm of these parodies for Silva Injury Law. And we also brought in Sharon, Prebocker, who's also a great actor, Criminal Minds, a bunch of different things as well. That's also part of our creative team. So now it's not just me coming up with the ideas. Actually, Lita Grinch was completely envisioned and written by Shay Robbins. I had nothing to do with that script.
Awesome.
So, and then we go into pre-production phase. And the wonderful thing is, again, when you line yourselves up with the best in the business, FoxForce, with Chris and Julian Pilarski, and you give it that idea over to them, they, behind the scenes, they're putting together the best possible team, getting the best possible location to film, setting up the best possible post-production team. So I literally will show up on set and they have everything ready to go. It couldn't be any easier. So, and then once we film, usually we can film everything in one day. And then Chris and again, Julian are working tirelessly post-production because we didn't film Lita Grinch too long ago. And that was shot on a blue screen. Okay. We filmed that and it's ready to be launched tomorrow. So that's how amazing their team are. We have one of the best visual effects specialists named Elliot Gurin. He's absolutely incredible. Again, the big key to success, having the best partners in the world. We got FoxForce. Don't even think about stealing them from us because they're already ours. Got it?
That's great. I'm curious. I mean, I know you talk about the top of funnel effect. How has it affected recruiting, if at all?
With employees,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, they love it, man. Like everybody loves it. We've had people, I think Michael mentioned it earlier. We've had people reach out that say, I want to go work for this law firm, or hey, like, what else did they say, Michael? I feel like that we've had multiple people reach out and say stuff like that.
Oh, with social media, we get and YouTube people hitting up to where can I send my resume?
Right.
And sorry to break it to everybody out there. We are a normal law firm operating. So I promise, bro. There is, and we talked about why I'm in Utah now. Tanner and Cassidy kicked me out of the offices because I did distract folks for so long. So, but in all seriousness, we do have folks reaching out. Again, they want to be involved. They want to be a part of this. And that's, I think, what makes it so exciting that, again, we put one video out just as a means to make people happy and smile. And the result has been people wanting to engage with us in any way they can, whether it's through working with our law firm, whether it's sharing our stuff, whether it's asking to be in our productions with us. There's amazing top trial lawyers that reached out and said, hey, I want to do a cameo in one of your videos, which there's going to be a top lawyer be joining us here on the law office soon. All right. This, but all in all, with recruitment, I mean, people just wanting to be a part of what's happening here. It's exciting.
I mean, people love authenticity, right? So regardless of whether it's a client, a jury, employees, like people want to be around people that are authentic and genuine.
Totally. So I'm curious. So Silva Studios is the production arm, right? And that's kind of all focused in on character building and writing apps and doing new concepts. What's in store for next year? Like, what is the future of this arm and how it interacts with the law firm?
It's going to be massive. So we already have our 2026 slate. We're going to be producing 6 of these major parodies. We're going to be producing a couple of Thunderclap episodes, continue on with the lifeline or life cycle of a personal injury case.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of fun law office episodes coming. The character Michael is, you might see him doing a little bit of Mrs. Doubtfire and then a little bit of Pee Wee Herman. As far as the parodies we're going to do, there's going to be a parody called Thunderclap of the Caribbean. That's gonna be fun. And Cassidy is going to be making her writing debut because we are going to do a parody of Legally Blonde. So that's going to be pretty fun. Or Cassidy's going to be the lead on that. And then we have one parody that we're trying to figure out what we want to do right now. That's kind of in the works. There's some ideas being thrown around, but also I think what we're going to experiment with as well is whether including rap battles and other different fun things that we can include. Again, the whole point here, Hugo, quite honestly, the main purpose is to make people smile. This industry is so serious. It should be. We're dealing with very important things. People's lives are impacted. Our model at the law firm from day one is promoting healing through compassionate advocacy. And we mean that, Hugo. That's not just taking their case, ignoring them for 12 months, and then giving them a paycheck of whatever's left over after we take our cut and pay the med legal providers and medical bills. It's developing a relationship that lasts a lifetime. And Hugo, we have people that work in our law firm that were former clients. We have friends. I talked about, we went to Green Bay Packers game. We took a client with us who's actually a great friend of ours. And so at the end of the day, we have an ability to impact lives on more than just getting them a settlement check. Yeah, helping them heal and getting their lives back on track is important, but helping them heal emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, every aspect of their life is the goal of Silva Injury Law, Silva Studios, and these legal parodies are just one part of it.
Love it. Love it. I think it's inevitable we'll see a Silva Injury Super Bowl ad in the next few years. That's like the ultimate top of funnel move. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. If I'm sure some attorneys are going to want to learn more about your setup, your model, how disruptive everything is in a great way. What's the best way to reach you guys?
So my email is just my name, Tanner, TANNER at silvainjurylaw.com. They could also call me or text me if they want. My direct number is 209-410-6902.
Awesome. Michael Joe?
My email is mjoe at silvainjurylaw.com. And as far as my phone, where people call me, I have a tendency to prank call them at 2 a.m, so it's best to go through Tanner.
Great call. Well, thank you so much again for being generous with time. Thank you for doing something different in the space. It's so refreshing to talk to law firms who are deviating from all the norms that are frankly just outdated. Like, I think you guys are paving the path to what every law firm should be doing. It's finding their own voice, being authentic, and making sure that their business operates right behind it. It's pretty remarkable. So thank you again, and to our team who produced another great episode and who introduced us to Michael Joe's content a couple years ago. Thank you so much, and until next time, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Hugo. We love you, brother. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.